Throughout the world, water scarcity is increasing while demand and competition for water are also rising. This is a problem that is growing all around us and is impacting us now. Water lies at the heart of our social, economic, and natural systems. And the impact from the growing threats to our water supplies will be widespread and felt in every country and by every one of us. Over the next 20 years and beyond, global trends will continue raising demand for water at unsettling rates. Today, a gap between our supply and demand already exists. If we continue as usual and do nothing to correct this growing imbalance, by 2030, global demand for water will exceed supply by 40%. Driving up water demand is the world's growing population, our expanding cities, and the changing consumption habits in emerging economies. To meet some of the needs of this increasingly prosperous and urban population may require a doubling of food production and increasing energy supply by more than 40% over just the next 20 years. With our water supplies already strained and providing beyond their sustainable levels, how will they provide the additional trillions of cubic meters of water needed annually to produce this extra food and energy? They won't. Our fresh water supply is a limited resource. Only 0.1% of all water on Earth is usable by humans. This amount is reduced even further as we increasingly pollute our waters. And as climate change alters the global water cycle that brings about our limited supply, droughts, storms, and flooding are intensifying, further impacting water availability for human populations. At the same time, our upstream water resources, the crucial part of our water supply, are at risk as we continue destroying what lies at the heart of any sustainable water source. When we look at our upstream water resources, we find that the functions that natural ecosystems perform underlie our water supplies. From moving, storing, and filtering our water, these and other ecosystem services occur unbeknownst to most of us, yet our existence would not be possible without these life-supporting services. By significantly contributing to human well-being and economic activity, ecosystem services represent part of the total economic value of the planet. Conservative estimates put the total value of these services in the tens of trillions of dollars annually. Yet in spite of their extraordinary value and our dependence on these services, our political and economic systems treat them as if they had no value. So as the devastation of nature continues, our water is one of the first and most visible ways we'll feel the impact of our misguided actions. Nature's intrinsic value is beyond any number, but valuing our ecosystems is providing a common language with the private and public sector, giving nature a growing and necessary role in policy decisions. Government and industry leaders may now realize and act on the mounting evidence that protecting a country's natural capital makes enormous economic and political sense. What we refer to as natural capital is the stock of ecosystems that yield a flow of goods and services. From Ecuador to New York City and throughout the world, projects are showing that water supplies can be protected and billions in capital costs can be avoided through the protection of their natural capital. Nature is particularly efficient and cost-effective at providing us water of adequate quality and in ample quantity necessary for people, food production, and energy generation. Nature is essential to having sustainable and reliable water resources that society needs and economic stability requires. Investing in the conservation of our natural capital will improve the lives of billions of people who directly depend on it to survive. It will also strengthen countries by attracting investments that recognize a sustainable place to operate in, and will remove uncertainties that have constrained the development of water and energy infrastructure. This coming water crisis can and will be overcome. The gravity of the situation we face is going to require cooperation and trust rather than competition. An essential step is for us to understand that our lives, our health and well-being is intimately tied with nature. Water is the essential link. We must again make water the sacred element around which life and cultures flourish.